Hello,
Everybody,
and we are
drink and
Dragged.
yes, I am Jackson.
I am Angel.
And today, we're in the spooky season.
We're already in spooky
just
season?
kidding.
Holy shit.
No.
Time flies. It is getting colder outside.
It is getting cold. I know. At the end of May / beginning of June.
I mean,
it's kind of weird.
Didn't it snow that one time in May?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A while ago, but it was weird.
The weirdest May.
Yeah.
The weirdest May.
Oh. Yeah.
Winter had come.
But I was just like, for this one, we're watching the Babadook, and I was like, we haven't reviewed a horror movie in a while.
Well, it's because it's not spooky season, Jackson.
It doesn't have to be spooky season.
That's true.
Yeah. Horror is really great genre for all seasons, really. But it's especially...
There's all seasons of horror.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's black pepper. There's paprika.
Yeah.
Cajun.
Yeah.
Salt is even a season.
That's true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But we're doing Babadook today, and that's it. See you later, guys.
We're gonna Babadook you in the face with some facts.
But first, our first segment?
Yeah, we're gonna catch up, I guess.
Yeah, with a quick catch up.
Yeah. Oh, alright.
Quick catch up.
Quick catch up.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the new sound effect. It's just like
the actual ketchup. Like the juicy stuff, just like that.
Maybe just do like a little animation of like a ketchup.
The ketchup
thing.
Okay, I'm not that good yet. I am not that good. I cannot do that.
You just record like a still of like you putting like ketchup
I would
on
have
a
to.
patty.
I would have to
or
like
on
put
a
like
hot dog.
just
like.
just to make sure like the video is like silent, but put in the sound effects. Just
yeah.
It just goes. That'd be actually pretty funny.
Yeah. You're welcome. I got stuff in my brains too.
Yeah, I just need to remember to do it.
I also need that.
So quick catch up. Anything new with you?
I don't even remember the last time we caught up, bro.
It's been a while.
Has it?
Yeah.
Really?
Since the last movie episode, it's been a couple.
What even
weeks,
was the last movie we did?
I don't know.
Was it Guardians?
No, it was the 100th episode. It was
100th episode.
Best Showman.
Best Showman?
Yeah, it was Best Showman.
The Best Showman.
Yeah.
Remember The Best Showman? It's a pretty good movie.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites.
I tried throwing you off too because you threw me off on the Scooby-Doo episode.
It was with my favorite actor, Jack Human.
Huge Jackman.
No, Jack Human.
Jack Human. Human. Hello, guys. I am
Jack Human.
Hello. Yeah. No, the last one was with Greatest Showman. So.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's been a minute.
Yeah. So anything that's
I mean, with me,
stood out.
I'm going to Mexico.
Yeah, that's true.
So it hasn't happened yet, but it will happen.
Anything else
in the
that
next
happened
couple months
in the past? Though?
In the past, I mean, it cost me a lot of money to get that ticket to Mexico. Been grinding.
Oh,
daily grind.
that's It's about right.
Pretty much.
It's pretty normal.
More so than usual, I guess, because I had a coworker go on vacation for a few weeks and.
You're putting in
under. Yeah, I was putting in overtime, but I need the money anyway, and I really need the money. And we play our D&Ds whenever we get the chance, and we celebrated your birthday, which I will let you get into a little bit more. Sure. I just got him some nice little minis.
Yes,
and
it made me want to run a campaign immediately.
A campaign that you can't play right now. Gee,
no,
I wonder how that feels like.
Yep.
I could only imagine.
Oh, I know. I have like so many ideas for other ones. But anyway.
It's the constant struggle of being a struggling DM.
Yeah.
And then, just been like...
Well, we were able to start your first official session 0 for your campaign.
Yeah, we had like a session 0 proper at the very least just the other day. And that was fun. I've been having a lot of fun. Just like
that was a really fun first.
And that's what I'm like, dude. As soon as all we need to do is find that like weirdest like alignment of stars to get everybody in the room at the same day and time.
The past 3 times, someone can't come. for some reason.
Which, I get it.
But we had a nice, good maybe 2 or 3 times where everybody showed up, in a row.
Yeah.
And then after that, it was just...
And then it just varies.
No, sorry.
Up and down. Yeah, it's a roller coaster. And every time it's just highs and lows.
Yeah. But I feel like it's good for us as DMs to okay, well, how do I make do with what we have?
Now you have to pivot and adapt.
Yeah. So,
which is really good, and I've actually been enjoying watching you grow as a DM too.
Yeah, which is one of the things that I'm just like this year especially. I'm just one of those challenges of okay, they're not coming today. I need to do something with their character narratively. And I feel like I've done a decent enough job where it feels right in the story, it makes sense. So, but
yeah, I mean, you've definitely established that the setting is not nothing's really certain, and things kind of just keep happening to us, and we're just we don't know anymore, man. We every time we get answers, we're just left with even more questions, and we're just we don't know what's going to happen. We're just so used to losing people and then finding them again.
Yeah.
And then potentially just swapping out people and then potentially just losing them and then just finding them again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very chaotic.
It's just very chaotic.
That's kind of what it's supposed to feel like.
Yeah. It definitely works. Because if everybody would have just been there, maybe I should just skip out one day.
Maybe.
Just be I'm going. I'm just not going to be in the session this week.
Yeah, that's the way it goes.
That would be funny.
I'm going to skip out one time.
Yeah,
Wait, where's our DM? I don't know.
Wouldn't it just be fucked up? Where would you go? You skipping out, there is no session. Everything is here.
I know. Somebody read his notes.
But
he has no notes. Oh.
He doesn't have any notes. He's like me. We don't write notes.
I do have some
you do
notes.
have some notes. I'm the one without notes.
Anyway, I mean, not to butt into your quick catch-up.
I mean, kind of, it's same shit. I mean, I've essentially just had a lot of fun. Kind of stretching out those DM muscles again, because wow, I feel so out of it. Once I was behind that seat, I was just damn, I have not done this.
I kind of got that vibe where you're just okay.
It's holy shit, yeah, it has, because the last time I even ran a game like that was a year ago with your guys' campaign with just you and your wife.
Yeah, it was.
And I'm wow, it really has.
Which was
been
a great campaign too.
Yeah,
I still remember it.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yes, I had a lot of fun with it too. But it was just like a muscle I hadn't worked out on in a long time, and
And you popped it. Oh, there it is. Okay,
it's still there, but now it's just all atrophied and shit. So,
and now you gotta wait another few months.
I know, right?
A few weeks.
Oh.
Well, maybe a few months.
Probably a few months, given our track record. Maybe I should just run a side campaign on my own. I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe.
I gotta find people. I need friends.
Yeah.
But that's me.
Yeah. So So like you said, I'm old now, and so I kind of had 2 parties. The first one was with my wife's parents, and then her sister and husband also came over with their kids. So they pretty much visited for a couple hours.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know. It was a nice time too, though. We set up the table, had some food, just kind of talked, had a good time, watched Kung Fu Panda.
Did she take you out to dinner?
No, here.
No, I'm saying, did Karina take you out to eat?
I'm sorry,
for your birthday.
I cannot.
I'm
delve into further information.
I'm not at liberty to say.
That is confidential.
It's just you putting on beard oil and shit.
Yeah, right.
And then she's just
I'm ready.
And then she's just oh, I forgot.
Oh,
right.
Right, yeah.
We'll just go over to Culver's real quick around the corner.
I'm not picky. But then, that was the Friday, and then the Saturday, pretty much just the family, friends, and then, family, friends, and friends.
Friends of family, friends.
Yeah, family and friends, I should say. Just
actually
lump it all together.
Yeah.
There you go.
Come on, man, you know English.
No, I don't.
I don't either.
Not when I talk.
Just leaves.
No, just go.
Language just leaves my voice. It's just go.
Yeah. I cannot talk. So pretty much,
It's a miracle we're DMs at all.
I know. It's weird. I guess we do get like sometimes we do get that space when everybody else is talking. You get to think about, okay, what do I say next for dialogue? But even then, I kind of wrote over my own words. So
yeah, same.
we still got
a long ways
to go. Yeah, but no, it was a fun night too, though. Had some drinks, had some good times, good cake, and got my Lord of the Rings presents. Because nerds, and then you got me the Spelljammer minis. Which
I got him a bunch of boats.
And a
lot of boats.
I really regret not getting the Spelljammer books. So, because I literally on Friday, on that Friday, before the party, we were at the mall nearby. And Spelljammer was there. The only unfortunate thing, though, is that it's so expensive. It's like $80.
You're gonna want to get them while they're cheap, because I hear that apparently they're gonna be bringing up the prices on a lot of D&D products pretty soon. Yeah. So,
but that's what I'm saying. Like, I really regret it too, though. It's like, I don't know, maybe I should have. And then you showed up with Spelljammer minis.
And I was just like, because that's the thing too. You told me that you wanted to do like all space scene.
Yeah.
I was like, well, he's probably gonna want to get those Spelljammer.
Yeah,
books.
I do. Yeah.
Like, he's probably gonna get that on his own. So I'll just get him like minis.
Yeah.
And
that's what I'm just.
Yeah.
And then the next day you come up with the minis. I'm just like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, I goofed up.
Yeah.
major time.
But I mean, hey, you got a little bit of time before the price goes up.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's still kind of spending.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It puts a dent into.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You just order that shit online. It's like $30. Well, actually, $40 now.
Yeah. I don't know, but like it was like the whole set with a DM screen. So just like.
Yeah.
But
same thing.
the same thing on there too.
Literally the same thing. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll check it out.
Speaking of checking things out, you guys, we are sitting next to a published author right now.
I have my book over here.
By we, I mean me. Holy fuck.
Yes, guys. Ta-da!
It is real. It is here.
It's here.
It exists. It is out in the world right now. And you can get a book too.
Please order it.
Please order.
Camera.
Yes. It's like...
It's, so it's called The Lands of Ordia. Yeah. The first book is called Power of Heaven. So this is going to be a 5-book series. The first book is a whopping 600 pages.
That's 3 digits, guys.
I didn't realize how long this book was until they're like, okay, we got to do the margins and the book format and stuff. And then I was like, oh yeah, because I wrote it all on Google Docs, which is a much... it's like a full page, like it's supposed to be like resembling a full actual
page of paper, yeah.
So
not a book,
right? Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, oh yeah, they have to reformat it because like when I finished it, it was like 500 pages. So of course, making it smaller added another 100 pages.
Maybe you gave it a little too much.
But I like it. I like how my first book is enormous, and then the rest of them are going to be longer. So
yeah, it's giving like thickness. And girth.
Yes, it's very nice.
Which is exactly what I love about my books when I get them.
Yes, exactly.
I like me a thick, girthy book that just takes up both, like it takes both my hands to hold it, you know.
And I'm gonna see if I can get this also on camera. My map.
That's how you know it's like a cool fantasy book, because fantasy books without maps.
I feel like
are they even books?
I feel like with fantasy books, having maps, it just gives the reader more appreciation that the author put a lot of time into actually creating the world. Even if like, because like I'm still working on the language, but like having a history of like an entire place takes a lot, and especially when you're writing about it, it's difficult to weave everything together.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. I'm pretty proud of what my map has turned out to be. So.
And sometimes it's kind of like one of those things where like where you have a map. Like, at least, I don't know if it was, like, the same for you, but, like, whenever I saw, like, a map in, like, a book, and they showed me, like, all these different lands and locations, but they didn't really, like, dive too much into them in the book, it just kind of made me wonder, like, well, what the hell's going to go on here? When are we going to see what's going on over there? What's the history going on there? Like, what kinds of people? What's the culture? This and that. It's like a show, but not really telling. And it kind of, like, lets, you know, as a reader, want to, like, I don't know, get all creative, and like you just start making like your own little headcanons and stuff, and you just want to find out like, okay, what's actually going on here?
Yeah,
like, I always like that with maps.
Yeah, I definitely had that with Middle Earth and with Narnia, especially those two. Well, and then also the land of Allegasia in the Inheritance Cycle was really cool too. It was a really big, big scaled map where you could tell everything was really far away. But I don't know. There was a lot of places, like for instance in Middle Earth, where the map kind of goes off, into the east, and so the whole thing with like Easterlings, you don't get a lot of history. Let's say like in the movies, they're like, oh, Easterlings, like they're on the bad side, and that's all you get.
Yeah, they got hired.
They have a huge history of everything, and then that land keeps going way further. And then the same thing with Harad to the south and stuff like that. And then there's the whole Middle Earth to the north, and there's so that was like the first like map, I guess, that had that sort of sense. Like, oh, I wonder what happens.
Yeah, what's going on over
that region?
Because it's clearly city, like Middle Earth is like literally just one part of the world.
Yeah, one little itty bitty part.
And there's like all this shit going on here. So like, what's happening all over the place? Like where else? Yeah.
So I definitely get that.
I think that and like. If I had to give it like a specific, I guess like the Faerun map of 5th edition, D&D kind of gave me that. Like the first time holding a D, I've said this story 100 times. Holding a D&D like DMG book for the first time, the map was already like a lot.
Yeah,
because it's just like one part of the world.
Yeah,
and not even like the whole world. It's just like seriously like. The coastal side,
right.
Not the whole continent. The coastal
just one little
side.
coast side. Yeah.
And then there's also like other planes of existence.
Yeah, and there's
like
a
whole
planes.
like wheel of planes of existence,
Yeah.
and they have their own rules and things. Yeah, mind melted.
Yeah. Which do you remember that we actually did that one time? The planes. When we did the D&D topics, we went into the planes and stuff.
We went into the planes. That's
we started it.
I mean, there's so much.
There's so much.
We're not.
We did like 4 or 5 of them, maybe. And there's like
a lot. There's a lot.
There's a lot.
There's a lot. I'm not going to give you an exact number because I don't know an exact number. There's a lot.
More than what we've covered.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
More than 2.
At the very
believe
least.
that.
Believe
or not.
it. Believe it. There's at least more than 2 planes in existence.
Can you believe that?
There's
United and the Nuska. Get it?
What,
Planes.
United and
planes.
Delta?
Yeah.
No.
Planes.
I go pure
what do you
snail mail. I just go through like the postal truck.
Yeah. Go on the boats too, the cargo ships.
I mean, if they'll have
So a stowaway.
It's just I don't swim, so.
Yeah, well, you need to stay on the boat.
See, maybe I am like the Sam Deere further because I can't swim.
Maybe.
Do you swim?
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah.
Not across the ocean, but.
Oh no! But
I still swim though.
You still have a better chance than I do.
I would just be like,
What? Well, I guess I'll drown.
Die.
I'll just drown.
I guess I'll drown.
Water sign who can't swim. That's crazy.
Yeah. So I guess that's a good, decent, quick catch up. I feel like.
Catch up. Yeah.
So there's the remote. We can begin watching the movie.
Oh yeah, remember we were supposed to talk about a movie?
Well, yeah, we gotta do the quick catch up first, though.
Do you remember?
What movie are we doing?
We're doing the Babadook.
We are doing Babadook.
We're doing some Babadook tonight.
Yeah, so for tonight, I am having some Modelo. But you're not really in the mood.
I'm not drinking today.
Yeah.
I've had a long day, and I don't need beer.
Yeah. Sometimes you're not in the mood, so.
Sometimes you just need tequila.
And I don't have that.
Yeah, he doesn't have that.
Do not have that. I have like some of the leftover vodka that we mixed with the.
You still have vodka?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
That's all that I have for like hard liquor.
Nah, we're not.
So I'm
we're
like,
not doing that.
It's not, I got beer and that's it.
Somebody has to be the designated drinker, dried.
Yeah. Dryer.
Hot, yeah.
Dryer.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right. Keep this show on the rails.
Yeah, right.
Which is exactly what I do.
Yeah,
all the time when I'm on here.
That's what you do. Mm-hmm.
It's in my job description at this coach.
Yep. Okay. Visually, I can start, like showing stuff finally. So that's the Babadook.
I wonder how that must have looked like with like just a TV, like a DVD thing.
What?
Right over my head.
That would have been kind of funny
just like
too.
a torso.
Just like
oh
yeah.
No, the Babadook. Yeah. DVD case.
There it is. It came out 2014.
Relatively.
It's that's 9 years. Wow. Yeah.
2014. Really?
Yeah, because it's 2023. That's 9 years ago. Can you believe that?
I That's crazy. I could have sworn it was only like a few years ago.
I was going to say, it feels like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
But no, 9.
Then again, COVID was a very weird time for a lot of us.
That's true.
Time
Those first like 2 years were just like a blur.
Yeah.
And then this year was just like, what do we do now?
I don't know, like it's like
everything's
time,
expensive.
It's like time stopped at like the end of 2019, and then it picked up again in 2023.
Yeah. It was like the blip in
like
Infinity War.
Yeah, and then Endgame.
And then Endgame, and they're like, "Hey, we're back."
I was like, "Oh, what happened?"
Wait, oh, jeez.
Yeah, literally.
Everything rose $10. Wow. Okay.
Do you think you would have gotten blipped or?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then no podcast.
Yeah.
It'll
just been like,
podcast will disappear just like us.
What if it was like during the podcast?
That'd be kind of funny.
Be like, and then we just continue our conversation.
We're just like,
come back like 5 years later.
Karina comes in and be like, okay, sorry.
5 years later, and nobody we know lives here.
yeah. Somebody else lives.
It's a whole other family.
Knock on the door and be like, who are you? And be like,
who the hell are you?
You're in my spot.
Yeah, this is where's the couch? Oh my god, the minis.
The minis. No, where's Toby?
Yeah. Forget Toby. Where are the minis?
Toby stays.
Well, Toby probably. Can't stay over.
But yeah. Oh yeah, I gotta get the facts out. Hold on, sorry.
If you can pull it out.
So as I'm getting the facts out, we can go into our UFO.
Yeah.
That's the space. Okay, there you go.
Space.
The final frontier. I say it every time.
I know you do.
I have to. Oh, you know what? Actually, I forgot to mention. I went to an Ailstorm concert.
You didn't mention them at all.
There's so much that I've done all in like 2 weeks. It's
yeah.
Ooh, yeah. But yeah, I went to see Ailstorm, and they came with Glory Hammer and a band called Lutharo, which their performance was nice. Well, all of them were amazing, but like as a band that I like just found out like a month ago because like they were like on the like the poster pretty much, the flyer, whatever you want to call it. I was like, I got to check them out before I'm actually going to see them, and very good.
I would have been like, I want to be surprised.
Yeah, no, they're like
impress me.
They're like kind of like a heavier version of Unleash the Archers.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
So, and so far they've released like a couple EPs, so they're a very new band.
Oh.
But I feel like with this tour they really got their name out. So I was like really enjoyed them. Glory Hammer is very much I call it nerdy metal because it's very much like half of the crowd was nerds pretty much.
I mean,
very much.
Also considering
it's power metal mixed with like sci-fi, fantasy, all that.
Yeah,
cosmic,
just like considering
themes.
like the themes, like Ailstorm is straight up like a pirate metal band.
Pirate metal, yeah.
And then you got this Glory Hammer one, which is like that sounds already like very close to Warhammer, which is also a very nerdy game.
Yeah.
And then the other one was Lutharo, which just sounds cool.
Yeah, it does sound pretty cool. It's epic.
But yeah, nerds, absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of nerds listen to metal.
Yes, I feel like. But then, yeah, so. They were really cool. They were actually dressed up in like costumes. Glory Hammer was.
Yeah, I think I saw in your story.
Really, really cool stuff.
Yeah.
I loved it. As soon as I came out on stage with the costume, I was like, wow, yeah, I'm going to enjoy this so much. And then Ailstorm came out, obviously, the main...
The main event.
The headliner.
Yeah.
And,
the cream of the crop.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And it was a really, really great time. And it was a really late night. Really tired, but worth it.
I would imagine.
Worth it. Yar. Okay.
What time did you guys get back?
1 in the morning.
And then back to work, eh?
Back to work, yeah. We actually had to like stop on the way for food because we were starving. Because we're not going to pay $20 for a burger.
Oh, you were in the city?
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
Maybe not 20, but steep, very steep. So we came back here.
What's like a steep price for a burger? You think?
It depends. It depends on like
the place,
what's inside the place. Like if you have like a Wendy's, a burger could be like what, $3 or something like that.
Well,
just a
patty.
But if you go to like a Kuma's,
Well, that's
where
true.
it's like
Kuma's
stacked,
bigger,
and then it's like,
yeah.
okay, well, I expect maybe 15 or
15 or 20
even.
for that, because it's also like a whole, like the biggest thing of fries.
It's the whole course.
Yeah.
Everything's there.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Yeah, that's why I say it kind of ranges.
I remember being able to mostly finish a Kuma's, and now I'm just like,
Not anymore.
I'll save it for later.
Yeah.
It's like a workout, man. You're
know.
just like, oh my god.
Like maybe
It doesn't stop.
maybe like 5 years ago, I could just pound the burger, and then now I'm just like,
You just pound it, you know?
yeah,
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, yeah. So we'll go to our UFO.
Yeah, I don't remember
Yeah.
when I saw this the first time.
No?
Like, I feel like it was like right before COVID.
Well, oh, like the first time you watched it.
Maybe 2019.
Okay, so it definitely took you a while, like from like the release date up to when you watched it.
I don't think I even remember vaguely
Yeah.
anything about this movie outside of that one meme.
The meme, why aren't you normal?
Yeah. Like, and I was like, oh. And even then, I didn't realize it was this movie. I didn't hear about this movie until that meme.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that would make sense.
And again, the meme wasn't really memeing until like much later.
It wasn't really one of those blow up ones. It was just
No.
like,
It was like a sleeper Netflix type of, you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
Second
very, very much blurry for you then,
Yeah.
for your UFO then.
Like, bro, I don't know if like,
It's not even a picture.
I don't think I even took the
I don't
picture.
even I just have a memory of maybe being
I
there.
think I was there.
Maybe?
It's like a fever dream at this point. I don't know. Like, I think it was like a one-time sitting watch. I didn't even... Because who was it? Was it you guys that told me to watch this?
Maybe.
It might have been. Because
I
there
don't
was like a period of time where you guys were telling me to watch like a bunch of
Horror movies?
movies in general.
Or just movies in general. Oh,
I
okay.
feel like you guys tell me to watch a lot of movies a lot of the time.
Yeah, I mean...
'Cause I keep telling you guys to
my
watch a
wife's
lot of things all the
not
time,
too
too.
picky with movies.
Yeah.
I used to be picky, and now I'm just kind of like...
Less so.
Yeah, like if there's like... If she wants to watch like one of those Korean drama shows, like she like that's her thing.
I get it.
I'll watch it, but I'll be like, ugh.
I'm not gonna.
Yeah. I'll be like dozing off. Like I'll watch it, I'll just not pay attention.
I'm just not gonna remember it.
Well, I remember it. I'm just like, oh, that guy is still there. And
Hey, it's him.
Yeah, it's the
He's
guy.
there. He's the guy.
How many lives does he have? Okay, so that's kind of your UFO then.
For me.
I think mine was when I was in college, because I remember. Actually, yeah, no, it was because now that I remember, I watched it in my dorm one time because that was when Redbox was still a thing, like
It's still a thing.
Well, a popular, like
Right,
more popular,
Yeah.
more popular than because now it's fading very quickly.
Yeah.
Very quickly.
I mean, digital's taking over, man. Everything's streaming.
Everything's streaming, yeah. But because I was just like, oh, like I haven't seen this one. It looks interesting, and it's a cheap rental thing, you know. So I'm like, sure. So I pretty much brought it over, put it in, and I'm like, okay, weird movie, but you know, okay. I didn't really have like a strong like
opinion about it.
Yeah, I was just like, I mean, weird creature. It comes from a book, which I liked. That was the really cool thing. That I liked. It came from a book.
It was a little different in that
And-
regard.
Like that whole theme, I was just like, okay, cool. But then like the
'Cause-
ending, I hated the ending. Hated the ending.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because
Everybody did.
It kind of gave
It was
us.
stupid.
It was just
The whole the tricky part about this episode is going to be the summary because I'm going to try to remember what happens, but it's a little tricky for this one because it's
Do we want to try it right now?
well, not yet.
Not yet.
We got to go
Okay.
through facts.
Okay.
So you want to just go to facts?
Sure, let's go into facts,
All right.
please.
Yeah. So
Because I'm like, oh god, so much has happened that I don't really remember.
that's true. I mean, I guess like before the facts, we can just say that we get introduced to a single mom with her kid, pretty much,
She's having
with
a
her
rough
with her son, and she's
rough
having a
time.
rough time.
raising a kid by herself, which, you know,
Yeah.
raising a kid in
By
and of
yourself.
itself, I mean, just even with a partner is still like tough, but not as tough as like raising them by yourself.
Right.
I think
It's like
'Cause,
one of
like,
the toughest challenges in the
Yeah.
world. I feel like raising a kid by yourself.
See, here's the thing: if it was like a Mexican family, you have like plenty of aunts and uncles
Sure.
to be there,
Yeah.
and if not, you have plenty of cousins to babysit.
Yeah.
For free. Like all you do
just
is
shove
like
them on the doorstep.
Like all you gotta do is
just
like
put them in the cupboard under the stairs.
They either you leave them there with your aunt and cousin, or they're just there taking care of you because they live like up the road.
I was just like, dang. Okay, well this is tonight's entertainment.
Yeah. And all you really had to do was just give them some video games, a movie, and you could literally just go fuck off and like do whatever the hell you want. That was babysitting.
For a good few hours. Yeah.
That was my experience at least, babysitting.
Yeah.
You know what? Everybody had fun.
That's the main
point.
point.
That's the main point. I didn't care about like how well educated they were going to be by the end of it. I was like, no, we're going to have fucking fun. Because I need to get something
Tonight's
out of
agenda.
Because I'm not getting paid, so I need to get something out of this. Like
laugh, laugh,
yeah,
have fun.
Essentially, I was just like, all right.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So pretty much we get introduced to mom and the son, and
son's a little
the living conditions are okay,
and
but
they're
the
livable.
They're livable.
You could live there. It would be a place to stay at, and you could say that is a home.
Yeah. I mean, the kid has a nice like bed at least. So
the kid has a room to himself.
Room, yeah. But yeah, you can
tell. A lot
tell.
of us did it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
But you can tell that the boy has like social issues, I guess, in a way. Like he doesn't make friends very easy.
Yeah, I actually forgot
what
it was.
The whole movie, I feel like.
Yeah, I forgot what it was that like the kid was about, but like but
some sort of social thing he had, wasn't it?
I can't honestly.
I feel like
I don't really remember.
Maybe he was just awkward. I guess I don't know.
I mean, yeah,
maybe, but like as a kid, yeah.
Yeah.
But then, one night, as they're doing the, I guess the bedtime tradition,
bedtime story.
Yeah, like telling the story. He's like, "Hey, look, I found a book on the shelf. It's called Mr. Babadook," and mom's like, "Okay, sure."
Weird looking book.
Yeah, but I'll read it. Whatever. It's a pop-up book, and then it's like telling about.
You remember pop-up books?
I do remember it, but man, has it been a while. Wow.
Oh god, kids, do you guys remember? You remember books? Do you remember pop-up books?
Pop-up books specifically.
Yeah, that'll show you.
Wow.
I'll show you.
Oh, actually, that reminds me. Okay, so my older sister, her daughter, they're trying to get her to like. Both of them try to read to her, pretty much.
That's nice.
And they do some of those pop-up books.
Yeah.
But they found one of the pop-up books that my parents read to us, like, way back. And I'm just like, oh my goodness.
That's crazy.
It's the book.
It's the
book. And they're just like, yeah, isn't it great? And I'm like...
What was the book?
It was about a mouse. And you can take the mouse, and then there's like little slots in the page, and you can slide the mouse in and out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
and so
cool.
it was like escaping all these like traps and the cat, and like trying to pick up like cheese and bread. Trying to
Most
go,
things.
yeah, the typical things. But the whole thing was the mouse going through the thing. I'm just like, oh, this is so cool. It just reminded me of that. So
pop-up books are kind of like a. I feel like they are kind of becoming a bit of a forgotten art, because it really isn't just like telling a story. It's more like creatively like bringing that story to life almost. It's really cool.
Yeah, the only thing that you can really kind of see is like those cards, like the pop-up cards for like theme stuff. And I'm like, those are just cards though. So it's like, they're nice, but like. It's not entire books.
I hear. No, I understand what you mean. Which is still kind of cool. So like a card.
I like the Halloween ones. They're really cool.
Yeah. I like the ones that have like the audio.
Yeah. You open it and it plays.
It's just like something. Yeah. Either something like either very funny or just like
spooky.
Random. I don't know. Yeah. I always like getting cards like that.
Yeah, they're really cool. But yeah, so pretty much in one of the books, these pop-up books. The Babadook is pretty much, I guess, like once you read his name, or no, once you hear once you read his book and you hear the Babadook, Dook, that means he's in your home already.
Yeah.
He's gonna follow you and stalk you until you're dead.
He's like an evil nursery rhyme.
Kind of
Thing.
I would probably put it like that.
Something along those lines.
It belongs in like a Grimm's fairy tale.
Oh, like Brothers Grimm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I feel like it fits very much into that vibe.
Yeah.
I feel like kind of like a folklore in a way, but a hidden.
Yeah. It's you know what it's giving if like again putting it into D&D terms. Yeah. It's very much giving like a Shadowfell vibe, like something from like the
like
dark,
where it's from.
Like
or
either that just, or like a dark fae. You know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, sure.
Something like that.
Something that just like stalks in the night, and once you like call out his name, he's just like he's there, pretty much. Which
I guess Dark Fae is kind of like the Shadowfell anyway.
A little bit. It definitely like belongs there in that vibe.
It's that kind of vibe. Absolutely.
I like it. So. Yeah. So I guess that was a decent summary. So
as decent as we're gonna get. Right now.
I know, right? And then from now it's like
you know what this like episode is reminding me of? A lot of our earlier ones.
The earlier ones, a little bit. It was just like one of those nights where we're just gonna chill, relax. We're very stressed out over everything.
We need to decompress, you guys.
Yeah,
so bear with us.
Easy episodes.
Yeah.
So,
you're here for a Babadook episode.
What are you expecting? Yeah.
Do you think we were going to get super in depth? Yeah. There's plenty of other people who've gotten much more in depth than we are.
Do you know the Babadook in the first place? Like now you know.
Yeah. It's more of a hangout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So we go now to our fantastic facts and where to find them.
Yes.
Ta-da. Fanfare.
Oh, fanfare. Boo, 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 boo.
Boo, boo. Yeah, I'm just not going to put fanfare. It's just going to be you doing that.
Cool.
Just kidding. All right, so good old IMDb did some trusty facts here. So the first one here, actually, this was pretty cool. So the movie had a campaign where you could buy a copy of the actual hand-created Babadook pop-up book, and it was for $80 because it was actually pretty thick, though. So, the first 2,000 copies are numbered and signed by the director, Jennifer Kent.
Oh, cool!
Yeah, which is really cool. And the book contains the familiar pop-up pictures as well as additional pages not seen in the movie.
Oh.
And the campaign was only open for a limited amount, but it roughly sold 9,500 books.
Oh, that's still pretty decent.
That's for like a smaller film like that. I'm like, that's a lot of copies. Actually.
I mean, that's also kind of like a very unique looking book too.
That's true.
Because they don't really make like scary things like that.
Right.
I feel right.
A lot of pop-up ones are just kind of like for
fantastic for kids. I mean, it's kind of what it's intended for, you know.
Yeah.
But
so
it's like
interesting though.
I feel like, especially nowadays too, I think media and entertainment and just like businesses in general, like realizing that like a lot of the adults are going back to like their childhood memories and nostalgic, just like buying things from when they were kids. So there's a little bit of value to that.
I feel like that's why vinyls are kind of coming back.
Yeah,
it's just like everybody's just like, hey. Remember when we would actually put that on a turntable and it would spin around and play songs? Let's bring it back.
And like, it's also just very aesthetically pleasing
too. Like, I mean, I have a record player, so I'm.
Oh, you do? Oh no, it's dead.
No, it's just
we killed TV.
I forgot that it does that. So,
yeah,
laptops. I still can't figure them out.
Laptops killed television.
It will eventually, probably.
The internet?
No.
I mean,
because they're trying to advance televisions where they're curved or they're the whole wall.
That's what I'm saying is like in terms of television, it's like TV like shows and stuff like channels and shit because everything's through streaming now.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Internet's definitely killing TV.
Yeah.
In that regard.
Oh yeah.
Like even live doesn't really matter for TV. Because everything's on streaming. You can just stream it live now.
Yeah. Another fact here is that when asked for the idea of the Babadook, the director Jennifer Kent said, I have a friend who's a single mother whose son was traumatized by a monster figure that he thought he saw everywhere in the house. So she thought, what if this thing was real on some level? So, actually, before the movie, in 2005, she made a short film called Monster about that idea. She said, but she couldn't leave it alone, so because it kept coming back to her of the whole idea, and then that led to the creation of
The Babadook.
So, really cool, actually.
Kind of like basing it off of like a real experience, essentially.
Yeah, in a way. Kind of like things that surrounded her in a way.
Yeah,
oh, I know a friend who's a single mom raising a son.
Yeah, I guess it just like got her mind to think, and it's like, huh?
Yeah.
What if this was?
What is this
movie?
Yeah. What if this short film was extended?
Extended
full
length feature film.
So I've never seen Monster, but it's kind of where the idea kind of began. So I'm just like, I kind of like that.
I barely heard of this one.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it was.
I mean, it's an Australian film, so
oh, really?
I mean, yeah.
Oh,
so maybe that's why it didn't really reach to the U.S. as much.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, I didn't know that. All right, interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like that's why. When the director was asked if there would be a sequel, she said, "I will never allow any sequel to be made because it's not that kind of film. I don't care how much I'm offered; it's just not going to happen."
Yeah, I don't think.
I don't feel like there would.
I don't think it needs it.
No, this is it's a nice story. It has a.
And that's the thing too. Like, I mean, some stories just need to be like its own little like self-contained, like film or whatever medium it needs to be.
Yeah.
Like sometimes like sequels aren't always necessary. If anything, it's more of a detriment. You know?
Yeah. No. I can't see a sequel to this. I've a slight possibility of like the origins of Babadook, but like that's all I can think of.
I don't know if I'm interested in it though. Like
that's the thing, and that's the only thing that's like.
Like, do I need the like weird, creepy book to have like an origin?
Because you already kind of get the origin of Babadook. He comes from the book and stuff, and it's like
I don't think I really need to know like who made the book and why.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not.
It would be one of those really crappy B-rated films if that ever happens.
I feel like it would be just like a really hard sell. You know,
I don't think so. It's
and
not
even
gonna,
then, it's like
the director said it's not going to happen anyway. So.
Even then, it's like director doesn't want to do it. Nobody's like,
no.
It's fine as is.
In Hebrew, Babadook actually means he is coming for sure. As a rough translation, so like certainly he's already there, pretty much. Like he has the next target already,
cool.
Which I'm like,
I like that. That's actually really cool.
That's very cool. So William Friedkin, I don't know if you know him. He's the director of The Exorcist. Yeah, he said that this film, I don't agree with him. I've never seen a more terrifying film than The Babadook.
Oh, really?
Like, what's
the guy from The Exorcist?
Yeah, the guy from The Exorcist.
the guy who directed The Exorcist?
I was like, I don't know about that.
I guess it's like scary in the sense that it's like literally just like a single mom and her kid dealing with some sort of supernatural entity. Yeah. Which I guess is like a fairly common thing in a lot of horror stories, but like... Because I'm trying to think of like other horror stories that literally just had like, okay, it's only these two individuals dealing with it. Because a lot of the times, like especially in like I don't know, like the Insidious ones, there's like a whole ensemble of characters that like the people affected and the people who are gonna come and fix the problem. This is literally just the mom,
right? Trying
to figure out what the fuck's going on essentially, and she's already just like stressed the fuck out, and then this other thing starts coming in and is like, yeah.
Okay.
So like.
So in a way, you kind of see where
I see what he's trying to say. Yeah. I don't think it's like the scariest thing I've ever seen.
I wouldn't say like. He said terrifying.
Terrifying.
Like, I wouldn't say terrifying.
It's just like the circumstances around it. It's like, okay, I would not want to be in this situation.
Right.
Stress the fuck out, having to worry about my kid, who is already stressing me the fuck out, just by being my kid.
Yeah. So yeah, I get it. I get it too. Yeah. But like terrifying. It's spooky, but like, that's kind of all it is. But
it's not a situation I would want to be in.
So this film actually had a total budget of $2.5 million. Yeah, all right.
Significant.
30,000 of it was actually raised from Kickstarter.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and
I didn't know this was a Kickstarter film.
I didn't either. That's what I was like. This is really cool. And actually, most of the funds from Kickstarter were channeled toward the art department. So like the whole decorations, the book, the
So that's how
the
they
whole
got that book
aesthetic.
out too. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
So I'm
cool.
just like, that's really cool, and I
I'm
feel
into
like
that.
it's really cool that they took the Kickstarter stuff, probably made the book, and then sold it to
And then
people.
they kind of like generated some of their money back that way.
I was just like,
That's
I
kinda-
don't know.
that's
I just
kinda
feel like
cool,
that's
actually.
really cool.
Yeah.
Just the way that they did all that.
Kickstarter is really cool for that.
Yeah, I really like that. Babadook is an anagram for a bad book.
Just bought a. You
just
bought
mix
a,
the
you
letters.
just bought a bad book, man.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a bad book.
ultimately,
What
that's
could
what this movie is. Like, she bought a bad book, and
Yeah.
now she's just in this mess.
Yeah. But I was like, okay, I'll add that too, just because it's interesting. It makes sense. This was the debut theatrical film for the director Jennifer Kent. So this is her first time doing the whole feature-length movie. So I'm like,
That's cool.
that makes sense because she did the short film first, got the idea like rolling, and then
That's
feature
really
length.
cool.
So I'm like, as a first like debut one, it's actually not bad. Like,
No,
as a
a
beginning.
debut, no,
Yeah.
they did really good.
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool. And I feel like that's a good like last fact there.
Yeah,
Yeah. Those were pretty fantastic, I feel like. Very interesting things.
they feel pretty fantastic, but
I think so. Yeah. Do you want to go into a quick summary of what's happening?
Jackson? Do I want? I couldn't even if I tried, Jackson.
I know.
I couldn't even if I
wanted
tried.
to ask you. Just,
I know,
just
but
for
like,
funsies.
it's not even me like not wanting to. I genuinely
You just can't.
couldn't tell you what the fuck has just happened. Right
I just
now.
can't even.
Like, I don't know. Like, shit's getting weird in the house. They read the book.
Yeah.
Shit's getting weird. Mom's getting more and more stressed. Kids getting more and more like weirder and unhinged.
He's like seeing things
Seeing
in the house.
things in the house, and
He watches some weird magic show.
Yeah, he's like big on being like a magician and shit. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, childlike wonder. I get it. You
Yeah,
know? I mean,
that's
Chris
cool.
Angel started, pretty
Pretty
young.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, everybody has to start somewhere, and
But that's his whole
his whole thing is like
obsession
magic.
right now. Is
Yeah.
yeah.
He wants to be a magician and potato catapult.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean,
Or
just
just catapult.
a catapult,
Oh,
but
right.
he like,
Launches shit off of
whatever he can that
Yeah.
doesn't damage the walls and the windows. Which I think he actually does end up shattering a window eventually.
Which catapult.
I mean, catapult and a kid.
Catapult.
Yeah, it's damage.
What do you expect was going to happen when you gave a kid a catapult?
Exactly.
I don't know if Gabe. I think he built it or something. I don't know.
Something like that.
It was very
'Cause he
janky looking.
finds stuff like in the basement because that's where his
Oh,
dad
yeah,
kept
yeah.
a lot of his own personal things there. So either he found it in the basement or he built it himself. So
Still impressive.
it's impressive. He can build a fully functional back catapult.
A backpack catapult.
Yeah, that's a smart kid.
Sounds like we might have the next Tony Stark.
Yeah, right. Hey, you gotta start somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Wait, Tony Stark and Doctor Strange.
Because of the magic.
Because of the magic.
Why don't you fix it with magic? Do it.
Why don't you fix it with magic?
But yeah, so then now that the mom is getting like less and less sleep and she's stressed out, she can't fit in with like the other moms. Like what's happening right now, they're at a birthday party, and she's just pissed off at all the other moms and like, oh wow, your life is so perfect, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mine sucks. All right, and then
Because like, there's a lot of like this shady like back talking behind her
that
back,
too.
saying like, oh,
Yeah.
she's not really a good mom,
Right.
And like just shit like that, just like really.
because that's another thing that
Being a
definitely
bitch in general, like honestly,
Yeah.
like I don't know how else to say it. Like just
Well,
being a really bitchy person. It's just like she's clearly struggling a lot,
yeah,
and you're just gonna talk. You're just gonna shit on her
behind her back,
behind her
too.
back, and like
'Cause, like,
then act like you're not.
Yeah, because like she has like one close friend,
Yeah.
but like because there's a scene like that coming up where like the mom's friend has a daughter, but when the mom's kid pushes her out of the treehouse, literally, they're like, okay, nope, we're not seeing you guys anymore, and then she's totally alone for like
Which
the
I
rest.
totally understand.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if
it's
this
your
is
kid.
ever, yeah, I don't understand if you were ever in a situation like that, but like I definitely did some shit like that with another kid, where we used to be pretty close, and then for a period of time we weren't very close because of what I did.
Situations.
Yeah. I was like, ooh, my actions have consequences.
Right. Yeah. But we're kind of at that point, and then pretty much the mom tries to like rip up the book because she's like, oh, like this is a cursed book. Tries to throw it away, and then it just shows up again later on, and she's like, okay, well, that it's definitely a bad book. It's a bad book. It just keeps coming back. And I think at one point she, sorry, it just looks funny in the movie.
Seeing it all happen.
She's like,
damn, she broke her whole nose. Wait, how did she break her nose? She fell backwards and then landed forwards?
Movie logic. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
You know what? I'm not going to be critical about this movie. I'm not.
It's a debut film.
Yeah.
Oh, here comes the meme of
the meme,
why'd
the
you
meme
just
scene.
be quiet?
Why can't you just be normal?
Oh yeah, why can't you just be normal?
How are you going to forget that?
Oh, there. Why can't you just be normal? Because he's like seeing the Babadook outside of the car, or no, inside of the car. Yeah. Well, man, that would be actually kind of creepy though. Like if you had a kid and he just starts yelling at something beside him, and it's like, hold on a minute. But oh yeah, and then he starts getting choked by the Babadook, and at first
looks like he's like, oh, he's having a seizure or something.
Yeah, and then she's like, oh man, I'm like, he's going crazy, I'm going crazy, this sucks.
Maybe I am just crazy.
Crazy. And I think, oh man, I'm trying to remember how like it all ends, because I remember they see the Babadook. Like he's like crawling on the ceiling and stuff, and he's doing the whole Babadook.
He was real.
Okay,
the Babadook was real.
He was actually real because he creeps into their bedroom when they're sleeping and crawls up on the ceiling.
And he knows when they're awake. He knows when they've been
bad or good,
naughty or nice.
So be good for goodness sake, I guess. Not for the Babadook though. He's just there. He's just like, I found you.
I'm the Babadook.
I am the Babadook. I come from a bad book. Duck, duck, duck. And I don't remember what point that they actually see him, but then eventually I think they end up trapping the Babadook in the basement.
I don't know how.
Somehow,
like,
I remember the kid uses the catapult for some reason that is useful, and they trap the Babadook in the basement, right?
Okay.
So this weird creature is just living in the basement, and
they're like
apparently, they're just like, oh, here's what we really need to do. We need to befriend this entity. We don't have to fight it. So then they just start feeding him like chunks of meat, and he's just like, yeah, meat.
This is what I want.
This is what I want.
This is why I came out of the book, so you would feed me meat.
So I can live in the basement, and you give me meals. And then that's kind of how the movie like ends. Is like they're just living with a monster in the basement.
Straight up.
I get that this is a debut film. I get it. But, man, I did not like that ending. Like, I guess they probably wanted to do something different than, like, an ordinary...
we stopped the Babadook.
Yeah, with some sort of, like spell or incantation from another book. Or, like...
having, like, some sort of occultist
come in, like, a specialty or something. Like,
somebody come and like do some Inception shit. It's like make them dream within their
come
dreams.
over and do the banishment spell.
Fight the Babadook inside your head.
go into the further.
Oh yeah,
but I don't know. It's kind of like what I remember mostly.
I mean, it's overall like it's a pretty like interesting concept.
Yeah.
But also, like, ridiculous. Equally as ridiculous. Which, I guess, horror in general is pretty fucking ridiculous, honestly.
What it is in general. Yeah. But, yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's just kind of like what the Babadook is, all in all. So, yeah, that's kind of the Babadook movie. The summary, some facts. Yeah. Very good. I kind of like that. Do you have any questions? Any
questions?
Comments? Or anything that you'd like to note about?
Tell me you don't get bad books like that, man.
No.
I hope not.
What if I make bad books?
Yeah. God, I hope not.
There's a bad book right over there.
There's a bad book right over there.
Oh no.
Jesus Christ. Nah, I think you're well, for one, I'm just like, I guess I should probably say this. Like, one, I'm also like just really proud of you for like getting your book finally,
making the book,
making it,
yeah, and
getting it published.
Yeah,
that's actually really fucking cool, dude.
I still need to get your copy. So
I'm
very low on funds.
It's also one of those things where I'm like, I'll probably just get, because I got paid tomorrow, so I'll just buy it, and then
I'll still get you your copy though. So.
Well, I appreciate that. I'll have like
You'll have 2 copies.
Yeah, I'll have like one's for like at home, and the other one's just like, hey,
sign it.
Look at this. See that? Know him.
Hey.
I know him.
Just for bragging rights.
Yeah. Literally. I'll be like, yeah. See this guy? Yeah, I know that guy.
Yeah. I do a podcast with him.
Yeah.
You should check it out.
Yeah, right?
Just plug it nonchalantly, just like...
Just gotta go to like a bar and I'll be like, hey,
check out the 600-page book.
Check this out. See this? Look at that. It's a nice book.
It's a nice book.
I know that
guy.
Yeah.
So
I'm friends with the published author.
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
Do you know any authors? No. Damn.
Oh, bummer. Mondo bummer, dude.
It's like I'm on a whole new level. No.
So do I get something for free or something? Like, come on, discounted? No.
What if I get you like a meeting? Just like set you up with like a whole bunch of like one-on-one.
Just like shows up like, what?
Like, dude, okay, look, you gotta hear me out. I need you to help me out. I don't got money to pay for this drink. I need you to come into the city. I need you right here, right now.
I would not go into the city.
I know, right?
Just talk to somebody.
Look, man, it's a $30 drink. I can't pay for it. I need you to bail me out. I'm helping promote your book.
I'd be like, I'll do a FaceTime.
I'll do a FaceTime. I'll settle for a FaceTime.
Just be one of those exclusive, like, I will do this.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I honestly, I don't think I got a question as to what.
Do you have any? I feel like this is very much kind of like folklore vibes, I guess, in a way. Would you say the Babadook like figure,
it's
like the
more
entity?
like it's less,
or is it more like
folklore.
Local legend? Is that like local legend? I don't even know.
It's not even. Yeah,
that.
it's less that. It's more just like creepy nursery rhyme, just storybook bullshit. Like generally, like.
Because
I guess what you're asking me, I think I see what you're asking me.
Like a favorite folklore story,
a book or something,
or anything
so
like that.
There was a book, and I might have mentioned it on the podcast in the past, where it's literally about this old man living in the woods in his little log cabin and shit, and he's like a hunter or a trapper.
I forgot about this.
Part of the movie
where when the book returns to her, go ahead. Other thing. I totally forgot about this. I'm like, oh yeah, that's messed up. She gets the book back, and when she's reading it, it's directed to her.
Yeah, it's literally talking to her. Yeah,
and the pop-up pictures has the Babadook possessing her, killing the dog like by strangulation, and then killing her son also through strangulation, and then killing herself with a knife. I'm like, oh yeah, that's dark.
Well, it's pretty dark.
Yeah. I'm just like, oh yeah, I forgot about that part of the movie.
See, this there's some good things here.
We got stuff.
We got some good like stuff. Like I could use this in a D&D game.
Yeah,
potentially.
Yeah, like a cursed book or something. Well, not even a cursed book. Maybe just like a
curse.
Just curse.
It's just curse.
Just curse. But anyway, sorry. I had to add that really quick. So.
No, absolutely. Yeah. But like the book I read, I forget what the fuck it was called.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Was it in a collection or was it an actual?
It was like
book?
An actual book,
like
just a single like children's book. Literally an old trapper living out in the woods, and one day he kind of caught something in his trap, but like the creature clearly got away, but all it left behind was a tail. Oh. And then he turned that tail into like stew, and that was like essentially like his little like dinner before bed. And then he started hearing like some weird thing outside his home, like scratching around and like talking to him, looking for its tail.
That's creepy.
And then like it just kept on doing that until like the point where like it actually like got in the house at the foot of his bed, and the guy's like, I don't got your tail, dude. And then the thing's like, fucking liar. And then like it just ends with like potentially like, I don't know, but like when
it's in my stomach, but
it's like it's one of those things. Because, like, the book literally ends with, like, he's like, yes, I finally got my tail back. I'm like, wow. Like, that just left an image in my head. Like, this old man literally just being dismembered in his own home. Literally. Like, I'm like, oh, my
Because, I mean, he ate
God.
it,
so I'm like, he got his tail back one way or another, man. Like, I don't think the guy just gave him a new tail. I'm just like, wow. I forgot what the name of that thing was. Like,
sounds cool, though. Sounds interesting. I'm
going to see if I can look it up.
Sure.
But, like, that's as far as like scary books that like really like stuck out to me as a kid, that and like obviously the scary stories
of
To Tell in the Dark.
To Tell in the Dark.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, yeah, those were like really
those were classics.
Popular.
But,
those were really cool though.
Yeah,
really
those,
creepy.
Like those are the ones that definitely like still like lingered in a lot of people's head. But like that other one I
feel like
about.
Yeah. Well, I feel like the scary stories, like as like younger kids too, that would probably stick with you, like. But I was always intrigued with Hansel and Gretel. I really love that story. The whole witches.
I found it. This is the book I was talking about. The Taily Po. The Taily Po.
Yeah, I haven't read that before.
It's a weird. I don't know if you guys can see it. But yeah,
there you go.
This is the book I was talking about.
It sounds interesting though, for sure.
Yeah. It's such a like weird little because like, and not only that, but it was like when they still had like that audiobook like cassette tape things with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was all like narrated and stuff, and it was just very
nice.
There was like an ambience and musical track in the background.
That's so cool.
I feel like
that's really cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
People. Something about that is still like
just
very,
the aesthetic of
I guess
it.
like the aesthetic and the nostalgia for it.
Yeah. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
I love like older audiobooks. Just something about the vibe is just, they were so into the story.
True. I think I felt a little bit of that nostalgia when I was doing the audiobook for Istrad. Because it's like a very older, like a much older one too.
Because I remember I actually found that the one that it sounds like the whole cassette thing.
Yeah,
I found it on YouTube. I'm just like, ooh.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Right? I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like some like old story.
You're like, no, I just want to read it physical. I don't want to do audiobooks. It's for swine and filth. I do everything directly from the source. I'm like, it just sounds cool, dude. Like, check it out.
Yeah, I was totally like that.
Yes, that's exactly what you sound like when I was telling you about the audiobook. He's like giving me all this shit. I'm just like, well, it sounds cool.
I just like reading.
I'm not shitting on you for reading. I'm just saying, like, this other way I'm doing it is pretty fucking cool, too.
I know. I checked it out and I listened.
Well, after I told you.
Yeah.
Yeah. The point is, I was right.
Point is. I hear that a lot.
Anyway.
I just accept it immediately. I'm just like, yep. Okay, you're right. Move on.
Yeah, that's gonna get you poor, man.
Probably. Would you ever consider like writing a short story, possibly of like a local legend, a folklore? Like it doesn't have to be a full full like book. It could be like a 20-page short story.
I mean, I'm sure if like the inspiration ever hit me, I'd give it a shot.
Because I feel like you would probably do a good job creating lore and like a little bit of.
I mean, yeah. If I really like, found myself in like the creative headspace and like a story that I felt like proud of, I guess. Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. Like I'd probably give it a shot. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's like something I would actively pursue,
right?
But it'd probably just be like a one and done kind of deal. Like, just try it out.
Yeah.
Probably just move on with the rest of my life.
Essentially,
like.
I don't know. I just feel like it's like because we're both kind of like creators.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like we would probably make up some weird creature.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, easily. I mean, we've done it before, like on this podcast.
On the spot.
Literally on the spot. We're just like, let's just fucking throw extra arms. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's got hands on its fingers.
It's a monstrosity. I have no idea what it is. I don't know.
Yeah,
that'd be interesting. Because there was, for one of my college classes, I had to write a short story as well. And I kind of based it off of this German folklore creature called the Albtraum, which is like a night night demon, kind of a demon, where it pretty much, like during the night, it'll come in like really, really quietly, and then it'll literally make the person like sleep paralysis, so you can't move, and then it sits on your chest and it gives you nightmares, pretty much. Because Alptrum is like like a loose translation of nightmare. So, and then it'll like kind of like, I think it'll like kind of like draw that energy from the nightmare.
Interesting.
Trauma.
That actually sounds like, and it's probably where the basis of this creature in the monster manual. So like literally straight up, night hags do a very similar thing.
Very similar to that. I wonder if it might be a
it would
strong
make sense.
Influence.
It would make sense. Yeah.
But yeah, I made a little like short story where like I took that creature and I kind of morphed it to like my own thing, and it was based in like a Puritan village, so it was like really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
That whole
they definitely have that sort of story going around there. Yeah.
So I'm like it just blended really good.
Yeah.
I got a really good grade, so I'm just like, hey, like I guess it was a good story, so I'm just like,
it works.
It would be fun to just kind of like take the story and then like publish it somewhere as like a short story.
Yeah,
you know?
maybe
like, here you go.
If you could, I don't know. If, like,
I could
people
probably
do this. Well, you could probably do it too. I don't know. Maybe if like you, because like you know how people have like their little like anthology books of like just little stories.
Yeah.
Maybe if you did
actually,
something like that.
Regarding the whole Ordia thing.
Oh yeah.
So I have this like humongous plan for Ordia, pretty much. So I have a whole bunch of books lined up that I'm gonna plan on writing. Obviously, one of them is actually going to be a whole bunch of short stories that is included into the folklore of the gnomes, of the gnomish people in my world.
I remember you telling me that they have their own little like thing going on there.
Yeah, and one of those creatures was the kind of like what I based the short story on was pretty much that kind of creature.
That kind of creature.
Yeah. So I was like, like maybe I could probably put that story, change up the names and the setting, but still keep the story the same.
Because like thinking about like folklore and like weird stories like that of like creatures, there's like a lot of stuff in like all those mythologies of like Celtic, Nordic, and Slavic mythologies. Like the one that kind of like, I mean, if I were to do something, I don't know, I would probably have to do some research on it. But like I've heard, like there's like this weird creature called like the Nucklevy.
From
I think it's Celtic mythology, but it's like a weird like imagine like a horse and a guy on the horse, but instead of like the guy being on the horse, he's like a part of the horse. So it's like because it's essentially like a guy, but he's just like a torso and a head. And he's like attached to the horse,
right.
And I think in some iterations it's just like a skinless, like it's just a mass of muscle.
So like there's still like a horse head, but like behind.
Yeah, like there's still like a whole horse body and everything. It's just like there's like a torso on the back,
literally sewed into the body.
Like
not sewed, but
it's like a part of it. Like it's like all one thing. It's like a really weird looking.
That's a wild
it's wild. It's wild. I mean, also like thinking about like how wild all these things are too, like in terms of like scary stories and shit. But I don't know exactly what the whole deal. I think it was like it was clearly like a bad omen
for the creature
and like the mythology. I don't remember what the fuck it was all about. But that would be one thing I would
I
want
remember
to investigate a little bit.
I don't know if I said this on the podcast or not, but I was watching a gameplay of Bramble. I think it was the game called Bramble. I think I told you about it, maybe.
Yeah, actually,
but it was.
I do vaguely remember that.
Yeah, it was a game based off of Nordic mythology, and like visually and storytelling wise, they did a really, really good job. Like it was really cool how they like implemented different like figures of Nordic folklore.
Oh, cool.
And it was just man, I loved it so much. And that, like even like my wife, we were watching it because that's kind of what we do for like our bedtime tradition stuff. Like we'll watch like YouTube, and so like for instance, like we watch Jacksepticeye. We watched a lot of his gameplays, and one of them was Bramble, and I'm like, oh, that looks cool. And then I clicked on that, I'm like, oh, this is amazing. I absolutely love it. And I got a whole bunch of like creative like ideas and influences from like just this one game because it's so cool. yeah, so
that's very interesting.
So check out Bramble, the game. So
and you know what else is like really cool? Like, I just like making like your own lore.
Yeah,
about something
it's so
weird.
Fun.
It's very fun, and because like. And I think this is like also like a very like where I got a lot of that, not just like creatively, but I see it in like especially in like communities like the From Software community of like Dark Souls and Bloodborne, especially Bloodborne. Man, like what was that one video I saw where it's literally like a guy made like a bunch of masterpiece drawings, but they're all kind of like vaguely animated and shit.
Oh,
and
kind of like Harry Potter style where they're like moving.
Yeah, they're kind of like moving a little bit. Yeah, kind of.
In a like a looped movement.
Yeah, and it's clearly like very much like because the whole premise of it was like a sequel to Bloodborne because you know that game's like from 2015 and we don't know if we're ever going to get a sequel because Sony's not saying anything because it's outside of From Software's hands because Sony owns the IP.
Oh,
so you know we're just waiting for that sequel. But and anyway.
Yeah,
it was just like a really cool like concept because like it gave me like it's essentially it like sets up like a new setting in a very familiar world.
Sure. Yeah.
And gives you like a lot of interesting like lore of like something that isn't even like canon but it feels canon. You know, and I just love doing things like that. I think that's something I would very much be interested in, like taking like a known thing and then just like creating my own like spin on it, like in this other like region of the world, or like whatever. Yeah.
I was literally gonna say like, well, you could create something and be like, okay, well, this thing resides like in this specific location.
Yeah.
It could like go somewhere else, but it's specifically here.
Yeah, like it could have like there could be like parallels or like connections where like it could be canon, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. It's like its own thing that's like definitely like influenced or inspired by you know that. And I always love shit like that.
I know. So. It's so fun. I just feel like just creation in general, like fantasy, fiction, stuff like that, even horror stuff, it's just really fun.
And I feel like that's kind of what we do already also with our homebrews. So
very much.
It's very much the same thing.
Yeah. So that was actually kind of my questions for you.
Oh, so, I think we're good.
Because I'm like, it gives me the vibes of, you know, folklore stuff. But, yeah. You got any questions or no?
I think we're all questioned up, but
yeah, I feel like it was a good enough, you know, review, and it's like I wanted to do a spooky movie, but not too spooky.
I don't even know if we could. I don't feel like we could really call this a review because we were honestly just like discussing. It feels more like a discussion, doesn't it?
Yeah, I feel like it was more of a discussion.
Right.
We're still reviewing the movie because we did facts, we did summaries, so it's a both. It's a bit of both. Yeah.
You get two.
You get the best of both worlds.
I'm not gonna sing it.
Copyright it. Dang it! We're canceled. Yep. Anyway. Would you like to tell the audience where they can find us?
Spotify, Castbox, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, YouTube.
Yes. There you go.
We got 5 now.
Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous.
We have a whole hand of places you could check us out on.
We got a whole handful.
A whole handful of places. Nice. I like that.
That was a good one.
I like that one. Works for me.
Yeah,
those are some of the places you can check us out now.
Also, if you guys like Tolkien stuff, I forgot to do this on the last one.
Well,
oops. Whatever.
Anyway.
It is what it is. If you like Tolkien stuff, I have my own podcast called Exploring Arda. It's got a few episodes now. I still have a lot of the Silmarillion still to go to.
Well, it's a big book.
Yeah, but I also added other episodes to go with it. So, you know, kind of actually like expanding it. So I did like a separate short story from Tolkien. So I added that into the mix, and then now I'm back into the Silmarillion again. So that's the whole premise of the podcast is not centering on one book, the whole thing. I want to do like, I think it was like every like 10 chapters of like the book, I'll read a short story, and then after that go back to the 10 chapters. And then I also talk about like important characters, like as like side episodes, like separate ones.
Okay.
So it's like actually like delving really, really deep into the stories. So,
All right, that's pretty dope.
but that's kind of what my podcast is all about. And I haven't really uploaded in a while because I'm busy. I'm so busy.
You also give yourself a lot to do.
Yeah,
you do.
I do actually. But that's the thing. I like doing things, but like I feel like right now I'm at the point where I'm just really exhausted, and I'm going on vacation next week. So I'm just like, I hope that's a nice, refreshing.
To, like, give yourself a little reset.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're like a new Tolkien fan, or someone who just is like an above average Tolkien fan,
yeah, both. Yeah.
Or if you just want to learn about shit about the world of Middle Earth,
if you want to learn Middle Earth's past,
then
this
guy,
Exploring Arda.
He talks about that.
Yep.
You should check him out.
Yeah, I'm trying to upload on YouTube because it's kind of like a big platform, but I have it on Spotify.
I'd say it's one of the bigger ones, sure.
Yeah,
it's pretty big.
It's pretty big. Yeah. But I have it on Spotify and Castbox.
It's big.
Yeah, big.
It's pretty big.
So, yeah, and I'm trying to do a video format on that too. But I got to upload the old episodes first, in order for it to be actually
flowing. Otherwise, you're just gonna have. Like,
otherwise, it's just like random. Like, oh god, oh no, oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. That's the end of the episode, guys. Tally ho! We don't have a. We don't have an ending for this.
No, we don't.
We need to catch up. We need to find a closing statement for this, because otherwise it's just us just awkwardly going goodbye, 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 goodbye.
Just echoing silence and disappointment.
Yeah, in a way.
And shame.
So like, we're still not professionals, guys. We never will be.
Man,
I don't think so. Because this is really just for funsies. That's all it kind of is.
Yeah, I don't.
We'll see in the future.
We'll see in the future. Okay, just
once I have more time, maybe.
Just go.
Just go.
Just
okay.
leave. This is getting bad. Goodbye.
Hey, yay.